What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful night tonight. Beautiful night. Quiet. Nice. Perfect temperature. A little bit of water here with ice. Delicious. Delicious. So, tonight we're going to try a little bit of, you'll see. So here I have the Delmore single malt Scotch whiskey. Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Look at that. This is really good stuff. Really good stuff. Product of Scotland. This is probably my favorite. My favorite. It's got a good flavor. It's a really good product. Let's do a little investigation here. We're not going to have this one tonight. I have something else for tonight. The Delmore Valor. Look at that. So this is an exceptional whiskey. The flavor is phenomenal. First time I had it, I was in Vegas. Nobody had it, I couldn't find it. I was like walking around. I said, "Hey, you have any Delmore?" And the guy's like, I don't think so." So then one guy actually went and checked, and he goes, "Oh, I do have that." So he poured me a little drinky poo, and fantastic. But you want to drink in moderation. Alcohol is only good in moderation. Too much is garbage. A little bit. And never ever ever drink and drive. Ever. You have some at your house like I'm doing now. Maybe you're staying at a hotel, have a little bit, but you never have more than you should when you're going to drive home. And what that is basically one drink per hour. So you get it out of your system and you have a clear mind when you drive. Never ever drive under the influence of this. And like I said, in moderation. So we're going to have that on another day. Not tonight. Tonight, we have a whiskey glass here. Tonight we're going to try Redemption. Redemption, this is very good. A very good product. Redemption rum cask finish. Straight rye whiskey finished in Caribbean. Don't want to upset anybody, finished in Caribbean rum casks. 94 proof. 94 proof. This is batch number 8. It says it right here. Batch number 8 Redemption. So this is really good quality. And have a little dark chocolate. A little bit. I'm a big fan of dark chocolate. I'm a big fan of chocolate, period. Yeah, that's delicious. So they have it nice and folded up here with the tin foil. Look at that. Wow. Rich. Very nice. Very nice. So we will pour a little bit. Has not been opened yet. Brand new Redemption. Have a knife here. You can tell it's exceptional. Right off the bat, nice aroma. Nice. So you can't go wrong with this. If you go to a place, nice restaurant, and you don't know what to pick for your beverage, and you see redemption on there, that's a safe bet. It's a safe bet. And if you want a good one and not too expensive, not expensive at all, that Buffalo Trace, very good, very good. I always, when I have that, I always say to myself, whoever makes that, they could charge a little bit more. It's worth it. So, yeah, that's not too much. I want to be able to find the room where I sleep at night. I don't have too much, and I'm looking all over the neighborhood for my room. Put it next to me here. Yeah, that is, that's going to be good. Some people put their nose all the way down in here and they sniff it. I could pick it up from up here. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good color. People swirl it. That is good. Not only good flavor, but very smooth. Very smooth. Now I'll break a little bit of the chocolate. So, I have a mystery box here. Mystery box. I hate it when the table is shaky. One leg is slightly shorter than the other, or the ground is uneven. In this case, I would say the table is a little bit off. A little bit, not much, but a little bit. Gotta find something to put underneath. Spill the water. See what we have here. Wow. So these are like coupons and stuff. Let's cut some of these edges off. I want to cut an arm off. All right, now we investigate. Can't tell you how good that is. Good flavor. All right, I see some good stuff in here. Some good stuff. The calming aftershave, and I'm big on aftershave. There was a time when I didn't see the purpose for aftershave, and I didn't use it. Most of my life have not used aftershave. I would, put the stuff on, the shaving cream, and then shave, rinse, and I was done. But in the past couple of years, I've discovered aftershave, and I splash it on. So I'm going to use this because I guess this is what, a spray? Yeah, I don't want to spray any now. Yeah, it's a spray. So we'll check that smell out after. I don't want to get any in my beverage. So it's called House Atlas, House of Atlas. The calming aftershave helps prevent irritation. Instantly nourishes the skin. Alcohol free. We will try that. Next product. Stone Street Soap House. Body wash. Body mist, sorry. Body mist. And some of these plastic things. Wow. Fresh. Nice. I mean, that's, you know, all together. If I spray it in the air and do one of these and then smell it, I get a better sense. That's nice. Refreshing. You know, when you take a shower and then you apply some fragrance after, I don't know, 5 minutes, you don't notice it anymore. And you think nobody else does either. So you walk into a room, you know, they don't notice it. But when you smell somebody who's put some kind of cologne on, you notice it hours after. You know, from the time they put it, hours and hours later, you smell them. You can smell them in the hallway after they've left. But because you have it on you, you get used to the smell. You don't notice it anymore. I always say, oh man, that cologne does not work. It only lasted 5 minutes. But in reality, and I tell you how I know this. Sometimes you'll run into somebody who wears cologne in the evening, and you know they haven't been home or anything like that, and then, you know, you bump into them and you can still pick it up. Women, you know, a woman walks by you, she put on some Gina Tay. Hours later, you can still smell that, even though she probably doesn't even notice it anymore. Man, I highly recommend that. Redemption. So another product, anti-plaque, fresh breath, remineralization. I don't know if that really works, but they say it does. So natural peppermint, whitening plus enamel health toothpaste. Never heard of this. David's hydroxy. Oh, right there. See that? Right, that's what it says. Wow. Oh, you know what? I just noticed something that I appreciate even more than the toothpaste. It's in metal. It's in some kind of tin. I am sick and tired of buying toothpaste that comes in a plastic tube. I can't stand it. I love it. This is great. I may become a permanent user of this. I love the metal. For me, little things catch my eye. You gotta, yeah, it's not poked. I don't want to poke it right now. I mean, it probably smells like peppermint. But yeah, it's metal. Like the old days. I remember the old days I would get Crest. Always been a Crest guy, although I go back and forth to Colgate, and I've used AIM and Close Up and Aquafresh, but mainly my whole life, mainly Crest. But I do like Colgate. And it used to come in metal, like this one. You squeeze it out, the metal would, you know, keep, so the toothpaste couldn't squeeze back in. And then they went to this plastic rubbery material, which I cannot stand. So these people got it down. I appreciate that. Anti-plaque, fresh breath, sulfate free. So we'll see. That does not foam, and then fluoride free. We will try it, but I do like that it's metallic, the metal. Metallica. Oh, somebody felt something there. Not for me. All right, what's this thing here? Aqua Bomb. The True Cream. What is it true about? So skin hydration. So like a little baby bottle. I feel like a giant holding up a little teeny weeny thing. Look at that. Must be good. They only give you a little bit. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice refreshing fragrance. We will try. I try everything. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I wait for it like a wife waits for a husband from World War II. Now, next, what is this? Gillette product. Big fan of Gillette. A shave as quick and easy as washing your face. Wow, looks nice. Gotta break this open, otherwise you can't get in. Gotta be here it goes. I was gonna say it's gotta be a trick here, but there's no trick. Oh, nice. You know what? I was just looking at something like this in the store the other day. Look at that. That's good. I like that. Feels nice. Ergonomics. Yeah, that is nice. I will use this definitely. I like that. Yeah, you get decent stuff. Very good. Decent stuff. Got extra blades back there. I don't know if it's if it's me or others experience the same thing. So here's what happens. I get a new blade out. And you go, okay, that's gonna, be, very good, and it is. But that same blade, the second time I use it, to me, always feels like it cuts better, and I don't know why. Not like my face sharpens it more, but it just feels like better the second time. Then after that, it goes downhill. I don't use it like 15 times. I probably use it like 3-4 times, and then I put a new one in. In the old days, I used to use it only once because I didn't know any better. I would shave once and then throw out the blade and put another one. Wow. That is very good. Daily Concepts. Organic. Everything's organic these days. Daily Slip-On Exfoliator. Let's see what this is. So it's some kind of sponge material. So looks like in the 70s, those basketball players would wear them, wipe the sweat off. So I guess you put your hand like that, you put the soap, and then you go all over the place. Get it nice and sudsy, lathery. Want to I'm going to use that. All this stuff is very useful to me. It's like they came and took a survey, said, what would you like to see? And they put it in there. So there's coupons and things. Well, I'm not gonna, I mean, I'll look at them. Got a hat in here. They got a place that you get $130 off your steaks coupon. All American meat and seafood delivery right to your door. Good shop. I will probably use that. See LAPD doing spins. Then we have another coupon here. Eat smarter, and the ER's in parentheses, with our healthiest menu yet. $140 off. I tell you, this thing is worth it. Oh yeah, nice meals. Free breakfast for 1 year. LAPD. How you doing? You found me? I'm right here. Callers and Company. CallersandCompany.com. Flip over for $50 off. This is featured on Shark Tank. $50 off when you spend $75 and use the code. Yeah, I'm gonna try them. So I'm gonna put the stuff back in the box so I don't lose it. I'm telling you, it's good quality stuff. A lot of times you get these things, these come in the mail, it's garbage. But GQ box, awesome. I don't even know half this, not half. Besides the Gillette thing, I don't know any of these products, but they seem of good quality. And I'm going to try that toothpaste there. You know something's good when it has weight. Too light and it's flimsy, cheap, junk, rubbish. All right, now the last thing in there. Last thing. I can't believe how smooth that is. Very smooth. But always in moderation. Stuff will ruin your life if you drink too much of it. Ruin your life. But a little bit is okay. Oh, I like this. Fleece. I want to say Fleece by Fabergé, but it's not. Slow Tide fleece blanket. Lightweight, soft, and warm. I mean, just the blanket alone is worth, you know, if they only sent this, I'd be happy. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. Wow. Yeah. I love blankets. I always have this thing, I have to be prepared. I always say, you know, I go to the mountains, car breaks down, I have my kids with me. I have wool blankets in my truck. 100%, you know, that, what's it, Merlin? No, that's not the name. It starts with an M. Very, very soft wool blankets. You don't put them on and feel like you have lice. So I have those in there. I have a couple other things for rain. You know, different things in case something happens. Your car breaks down in the middle of nowhere. And now I'm going to add this to the collection. This is really nice. Oh, nice. You feel the comfort already. I feel it. So, Slow Tide fleece blanket. slowtide.co. No M. CO. Yeah, this is nice. Feels great against your skin. I like it. Very happy. I'll go inside and tell my bride what I got. She gets very excited knowing, that I appreciate this stuff. So let's knock down the whiskey. Yeah, that GQ, man, I wait for it, and then it finally gets here, and I'm all excited. Tonight we had chicken for dinner, chicken coleslaw, delicious. $10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. So yeah, I want to mention a little bit about the was it UAPs, UPAs, right? Unidentified aerial phenomenon. So UAPs. Lately, a lot of coverage on that stuff. Remember in the old days. What's that? Somebody calling? But I remember in the old days, somebody's calling. It's funny, at nighttime, sound travels. You can be half deaf at night, and you can still hear people like a block away talking. I remember when I was a kid, in the wintertime, when it's cold out, you don't really hear, voices do not travel. I don't know why, but something with the air being cold and the molecules moving slowly. But in the summertime, at nighttime especially, you could be whispering, maybe, your secrets, right? And a guy up the street can hear you. Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, so this UAP stuff, it's picking up traction lately, And when I was a kid, only the weirdo shows had that kind of talk, and I don't know why. I mean, it's kind of obvious to me. Although I can't prove it, but it's obvious that in a universe this big, there's got to be others. There's got to be other life forms that are intelligent out there. We can't be the only ones. That's hard to believe that we are the only ones. But lately, mainstream media has picked up on it. You never heard mainstream media talk about these UFO things, which that's the way I like to call them, UFOs. Came up with a new term, now we all have to say it. I'm going to say UFOs. So it's amazing to me that you'll see people like Marco Rubio openly talking about this stuff, and I hope there's something to it. I hope they have something. I would be very disappointed if it's all a hoax. But like I said, in a universe this big, most people they don't realize how big the universe actually is, and nobody realizes it accurately, but at least the people that know something know that it's at least almost 100 billion light years across, at least that much, and that's only the observable, because the part we can't see could be quadrillions of times bigger. But a lot of people, they go on with their lives, they don't even think about it. They assume, if they really thought about it, that the universe is probably our planet, a couple other planets outside, the sun, and pretty much that's it. That's what they used to think. That was the common belief about 100 years ago. That That was it. And if you were a little bit more sophisticated, you believed that, okay, we live in a galaxy and that's the entirety of the universe. They thought the galaxy was it. That's if you were super knowledgeable. You were like, yeah, this is a galaxy. It's got like 100 to 400 billion stars with a B. But now we know that's not the case. Now we know that there are trillions, at least 2 trillion, based on an estimate. We don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I'm willing to bet that it's even bigger than that. But lately you've been hearing all kind of, top officials, people that work in high places in the government coming out and saying, yeah, this is true, we have some stuff. Or I've heard that we have stuff, or I know somebody who saw stuff. Bio, what do they call it? Biomaterial or something. I'm hoping that it's true, and I'm hoping in my lifetime it gets exposed. And if it is true, they may be hiding it because they're competing with other countries that may have some of this technology and they're reverse engineering it. So they want to keep quiet as to the progress so that, we don't fall behind. Because whoever breaks the code, if there is such a thing as extraterrestrial technology that's beyond ours, if there is a way to reverse engineer it, whoever does it first is going to dominate the world. Think of it this way. Alexander the Great, or the greatest, I don't know if he was just great, but he might have been even greater than that. Imagine if he had the weapons of today, right? He would be dominating the world, and his descendants would still be in charge with these weapons. It's all based on the technology you have, how good it is. Because if you have today's technology 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years back, when all the other people were fighting with sticks and stones, you would be dominating the world with maybe, a couple of hundred armed people. All modern weapons, modern aircraft. But, if you think about it, if there is an alien life form that has, visited us, and we're reverse engineering their technology, whoever breaks the code first is going to dominate the world. And hopefully it's a good force, because if it's somebody evil in the world, and I use evil as meaning bad, not as meaning supernatural or anything, like that. But the thing that gets me is, how do they capture these things? These so-called advanced beings come from somewhere else in the galaxy, somewhere else in the universe. They find us, they pay us a visit, and then they crash. That doesn't make any sense, It's like you're that advanced and you crashed. How embarrassing is that? People back home, they went there and they crashed. Dummies. So that's a little bit hard to believe. And sometimes I think about it and I go, that's why to me it feels like the whole thing is a hoax. But I think the other way too. I think I'm hoping, because a lot of these people are credible. Marco Rubio, he's not known to be a fabricator, liar. He may lie on a few things, like about his height, but other than that, I would say that he seems to be pretty honest. So when he says there's something there, you hope that he's being honest. But I've been waiting for something to be revealed since I was like that big. It's been my passion. The universe has been my passion. The mystery of our existence, how everything, where this all came from, if it even came from anywhere. Could be that this stuff has always existed. I have a hard time with the Big Bang. Big Bang to me sounds asinine. But so far, crickets. Nothing. You don't hear, anybody say, "Hey, look we got a signal here." Unless they have them and they don't want to, they always say, "We don't want to panic anybody." You're not going to panic me. Don't worry about it. Worry about yourself. You're not going to panic me. I'm not gonna be, oh, there's other life forms out there. What does that mean to me? It means that the universe produced others that are also intelligent, maybe more than us, maybe less than us. I don't know. You know how smart a species is by their starting point. Their starting point tells you a lot. You know, like the car. We started when we started. You see the cars we had when we first came up with the car concept. But imagine if we first came up with the car concept and the first car we came up with looked like the cars of today. That's starting point. So imagine if you have a civilization that came up with the concept of driving a car, and their cars, their very first cars, look like the cars we have today. That would be impressive, because that would be like, you know, it took us 100 years to get to this point, but the other life forms began at that point. But it's been my passion to find out about the universe, number one, you know, what's the universe expanding into, what's the universe inside of, what's beyond that, and beyond that, and beyond that, and how do you stop? Life, is there other life out there, especially intelligent life? Always fascinated with that question. That's why when Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out, I was really into that. I had to go see it. And when I left the theater, my mind could not stop thinking about that whole idea of, you know, life beyond ours. So I would love to hear one day, we have something, and check this out. And for it to be real, true. I don't mean like made up stuff. But so far we wait, and nothing gets revealed. That was good. Good flavor, like a little bit of vanilla in there. Very nice. Very nice. I just have one. That's it. Now I go inside, and I gotta cut up some boxes delivered by UPS. Cut them down, make them smaller, and then throw them out into the rubbish. So that's it for now. Ciao.